The city was drenched in the heavy gray of a late afternoon drizzle, the streets slick with rain and scattered with the hurried footsteps of strangers lost in their own worlds. Among them, a young man named Ethan Miller walked briskly, clutching an umbrella that barely kept the rain from soaking through his worn jacket. It had been a long day, one of those days where every small misstep felt magnified, a spilled coffee, a missed train, a forgotten deadline, but nothing in Ethan's life had prepared him for the moment he saw a leather bag lying abandoned on a bench outside the busy train station. It was a simple bag, nothing extravagant, yet something about it made him pause. He picked it up instinctively, glancing around for its owner, but the crowd surged forward, indifferent. And just like that, Ethan's heart made a choice. He would find the owner. Before continuing, if you believe in the power of kindness and second chances, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's spread some warmth in this cold world. Ethan had always been a man who carried the weight of the world quietly. He lived alone, barely scraping by, working odd jobs to keep the bills paid in the small apartment above a tiny bakery warm and livable. Life had not been gentle with him, but he had a habit of noticing small things: an elderly woman struggling with groceries, a child lost in the park, a smile that seemed forced, and acting without hesitation. Returning the forgotten bag wasn't a heroic act, at least not to him, but it would become one of the most significant moments of his life. He turned the bag over in his hands, checking the contents quickly. Inside were papers, a laptop, and a small leather wallet. No valuables really, but the way the bag had been left suggested panic, distraction, someone's entire life compressed into a forgotten bundle. Ethan felt a pull in his chest. He would find them. He retraced the steps of the surrounding streets, asking shopkeepers if anyone had left a bag behind. Some shrugged, some looked suspicious, but one elderly man, wiping down a counter, noticed Ethan's concern. "Ah, the lady from the cafe across the street, perhaps?" he suggested. "She left in a rush this morning." Ethan's heart quickened as he followed the directions. The cafe was warm inside, a stark contrast to the damp chill outside. People were scattered across small tables, sipping coffee, tapping on phones, lost in their own little worlds. He spotted her almost immediately, a woman in her 30s, hair pulled back in a loose ponytail, eyes that carried the exhaustion of someone constantly running, not just through the streets, but through life itself. She hadn't noticed the bag was missing yet. Ethan approached cautiously, holding the bag out. The woman's eyes widened in disbelief. "You found it?" she whispered, her voice trembling with a mix of gratitude and relief. Her hands shook as she took the bag, checking its contents frantically, as if she feared even the smallest thing might have gone missing. In that instant, Ethan saw her, truly saw her, not just a stranger, but a person weighed down by invisible burdens. She thanked him over and over, tears glistening on her lashes. But what happened next would stay with Ethan forever. You don't understand," she began, fumbling with her words. "This isn't just a bag. This contains everything I've been working on for months, my career, my dreams, my future. If I had lost it..." Her voice broke and she choked back sobs. Ethan just nodded silently, feeling the intensity of the moment. Then, something incredible happened. She reached into her purse and pulled out a small envelope, pressing it into his hands. "Please," she said, "I want you to have this. I can't do it on my own." Ethan hesitated, unused to receiving such generosity. He had returned her belongings expecting nothing, yet here she was, insisting he take something in return. Inside the envelope was a card, just a simple card, but it held the key to a life-changing opportunity. Claire Thompson explained that she was an entrepreneur about to launch a foundation to support underprivileged youth in the city, helping them find jobs, scholarships, and mentorship. And she wanted Ethan, someone she had only just met, to be a part of it. She had noticed his small acts of kindness, the way he cared for people in the background, unseen, unnoticed. She wanted him to help lead her initiative, to give him the chance he had never dared to ask for. Ethan was stunned. Life had never handed him such opportunities. He had grown used to the smallness of his existence, the quiet battles he fought just to survive. Yet here, in the middle of a cafe, with rain still falling outside, a stranger was offering him a chance to change lives, and to change his own. As days passed, Ethan found himself immersed in work that mattered beyond rent checks and grocery bills. The foundation took shape under his guidance, helping dozens of young people find their paths. And all the while, he carried the memory of the bag, Claire's frantic gratitude, and the moment of trust that had altered the course of his life. Yet, the story wasn't just about the opportunity, it was about the ripple effect of a single act of kindness. Ethan realized that returning a bag, a seemingly small gesture, could set off a chain reaction. The woman he had helped, in turn, changed his life, and he would change countless others in the process. Every week, he remembered the anxious eyes of Claire in the cafe, and it reminded him that even in the smallest interactions, there is potential for profound impact. He began to carry himself differently, not with arrogance, but with awareness. Every lost wallet he returned, every person he helped with directions or advice, he did with the knowledge that kindness had a way of returning, often when least expected. One afternoon, a young boy approached Ethan near the foundation's office, clutching a torn notebook. He had lost it at the park, he said, and it contained sketches and designs for a school project. Ethan bent down, smiling, and handed the notebook back. The boy's eyes sparkled with gratitude, and in that moment, Ethan felt the same warmth he had felt when returning the forgotten bag months earlier. It was a reminder. Every small act mattered. Every choice to help someone, even a stranger, could be the seed of something extraordinary. But the most profound moment came unexpectedly. One evening, as Ethan was leaving the office, he found an envelope taped to his apartment door. Inside was a note from Claire. It was simple, handwritten. "You didn't just return a bag. You restored hope. Keep spreading kindness." Alongside the note was a small photograph of her with dozens of smiling children, all part of the foundation they had built together. Ethan couldn't help but cry, not tears of sadness, but of gratitude, of awe at the journey his life had taken, all because he had done one small thing without expecting anything in return. As Ethan walked through the streets that night, the city looked different. The rain had stopped, leaving the roads glistening under the streetlights. People hurried past, yet Ethan felt a connection to every one of them, aware that every life had invisible struggles, unseen fears, and untold stories. And he understood now, more than ever, that the smallest gestures of kindness could have the most profound consequences. Ethan's life was no longer just about survival. It had become about impact, about connection, about seeing the humanity in every person he encountered. He had learned that a single moment, returning a forgotten bag, could ripple through time, transforming lives in ways unimaginable. So, if this story touched your heart, please show your love. Like this video, comment, share it with someone who needs to be reminded of the power of kindness, and subscribe to the channel. Every interaction spreads hope, just like Ethan's. Simple act. Before you go, take a moment to comment below. Share your story of a time someone's small gesture changed your life, or the life of someone you know. Let's create a space filled with hope, gratitude, and inspiration. Because sometimes the world doesn't need grand gestures. Sometimes it only needs a forgotten bag, a stranger, and a heart willing to do the right thing. And that small choice, the decision to act, to care, can change everything. Ethan Miller never forgot the day he returned a bag, but more importantly, he never forgot the lesson it carried, that every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the power to create miracles. And as he looked out over the city, lights twinkling like stars in the wet streets, he realized that in giving, he had received far more than he had ever imagined.